The rich get richer, guys. Eagles get Robert Quinn. The Bears are paying $7 million of his salary. Eagles only have to give him a 4th-round pick in return. This is a balls to the wall, Tone. This is go for it, baby. Ooh, it is a happy Thursday here on Good Morning NFC East.
I love the song, Jeff.
Are you jamming, Tone? You like that? Oh man, you know what? Tomorrow, I think we gotta play "Dancing on My Own" in honor of the we
Jeff,
can find a way
feels
to do
good,
that.
Man. Feels good. How you
It
feeling,
is a good
Jeff?
Thursday, and Tone got me fired up yesterday, and we were going to rehash this conversation about can the Eagles beat the Chiefs and the Bills? Well, they definitely made their case that they can yesterday because. You know what, Howie Roseman, he ain't satisfied being 6-0. He ain't satisfied with being the front runner to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC. The rich get richer, guys. Eagles get Robert Quinn. The Bears are paying $7 million of his salary. Eagles only have to give him a 4th-round pick in return. This is a balls to the wall, Tone. This is go for it, baby.
Absolutely, my man. And it just speaks volumes about how they feel about Jalen Hurts. You can't deny what this team is trying to do. Their intentions are very clear. They're showing you, they're telling you on the field, off the field, in the offices, they're going for gold. This isn't playtime, Jeff. This is the time where the big boys come out. And you saw teams start to make their moves before the trade deadline. The San Francisco 49ers brought in CMC, Christian McCaffrey, of course. The Dallas Cowboys made their trade for Jonathan Hankins, a run stuffing D tackle. Both those moves, if you really think about it, are meant to combat who's at top, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. CMC makes the running game for the San Francisco 49ers that much more formidable, makes them that much more dangerous, and their offense that much more potent. Then when you think about what the Cowboys have done, adding Jonathan Hankins is a direct response to the way the Philadelphia Eagles beat them, and that was with the run game. They know they have to go through this NFC East first before anything else, so they have to be able to stop the run when it comes to these Philadelphia Eagles. So, man, so much to really break down with this Robert Quinn trade, so much to discuss, so much to hash out. But let's start here. Robert Quinn, 6'4", 245 pounds. Does he have anything left in the tank?
I think so. Honestly, I don't think Matt Eberflus's defense fit what Robert Quinn was trying to do. Now, last year, you're playing in a much different scheme, obviously, a much different scheme. And I thought that allowed Quinn to go, A, make tackles, and B, go out to the quarterback. This year, look, I get why Chicago tried to trade Robert Quinn when they did. And they kept saying they didn't, but when you're what was he, 32, coming off an 18-sack season?
Yeah.
You got 3 years left on your contract. You kind of want to say, let's get a pretty decent value for this guy. And I don't know if Quinn wanted to move, didn't want to move. I know they were both kind of back and forth. I think Quinn said trade me, and then he said, nah, I'm good. And, I want to see this out. And ultimately, it didn't look like Robert Quinn was going to be here the whole year anyway. And I think the Bears said, you know what? Team's going to offer us a 4 for you right now. We'll take it. I mean, his sack percentage down from 12% to 8%, which is expected when, let's be quite honest, 18 sacks is hard to do.
Exactly.
He's done it twice now. There's only, I think, hold on, I got to get this number right. 8 players in the league who's done this. He's one of them. I mean, this is a bona fide good pass rusher. Where does he fit? Personally, I don't know if he starts. Maybe he does, but you got Brandon Graham, you got Josh Sweat. Robert Quinn's going to probably be that situational pass rusher that is really going to benefit this team on third down. And I thought they needed to add to the pass rush. They did just that by getting this guy.
Yeah, this guy is what you deemed to be as a professional pass rusher. You don't ask him to drop back. You don't ask him to, guard tight ends or running backs. You tell him to do one thing and one thing only: go get the quarterback and bring me home that ball. And, I was looking at some Robert Quinn plays last night. I was looking up some highlights of his. And one thing I will say about this guy, 32 years old, still able to get the rock out of your hands. Every time he goes after the quarterback, he's just swiping his hand down, trying to make a play. And it's a reason why he's had multiple forced fumbles every single season. Last year, 18.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. This year, he doesn't have any forced fumbles, only 1 sack, like we said. But I think this was the case, right? I don't think this has anything to do with regression. You don't go from 18.5 sacks to 1 sack in a matter of 6 months to a year. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm not sure if somebody space jammed him and stole his talent. That don't add up to me, right? So I think the situation was this: he played 7 games with the team. He clearly wasn't happy with the way he was being used because he wasn't able to run free the way he usually is or usually has. Excuse me. And I think he was half-stepping. I think he knew a trade was on the horizon, like you said, and who knows if he wanted to be traded or not. But the Bears are the definition of mediocrity, if not below that. So I'm pretty sure him going to a new situation with the Philadelphia Eagles, them being 6-0, clearly being one of the best teams in the NFC, clearly being the best team in the NFC, one of the best teams in the NFL, this is going to rejuvenate him, and this is going to give him that much more reason to ball out.
This is the one thing I thought was very interesting about Robert Quinn. Did you know Robert Quinn is the most double-teamed defensive end in all football this year?
I heard he was double-teamed like 58 times this year. Is that true?
Yeah, 58 times. And you know why? Because the Bears don't have anybody else. Now you're pairing him with Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat. Obviously, the Eagles got rid of Ron Jackson. Yeah, exactly.
Very good point.
So,
and you brought up something really interesting. You brought up the fact that he's going to be that situational pass rusher, most likely on 3rd down, and he may not start. I'm okay with that because when you think about it, you kind of want your young guns to start a little bit. Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick, and then the next wave is Brandon Graham, Robert Quinn. That's a really good pass rush. That's a really good group of edge rushers. All those guys are in every phase of their career. You got Josh Sweat, the young guy. Then you got Hassan Reddick, I think, who's a little older, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have Robert Quinn and BG, who are in their early to mid-30s. So you have that blend of youth and veteran leadership. You got your young veterans and you got your OG veterans.
Think about this. This is how I picture this minute they trade for him. Like, wait a minute. The Eagles are going to have Robert Quinn and Hassan Reddick go after the quarterback on 3rd down. Think about that. That's really, really scary. And then you got Jordan Davis in there, Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, this was the move. To me,
Absolutely.
We were talking about, and again, you got me fired up about this yesterday with Chiefs and Bill. This is the move that beats Kansas City and Buffalo. This is the move. The Chiefs wanted this guy. This is a guy they wanted because they knew he's a difference maker. Like how who did they trade for the other year? Melvin Ingram. They traded for him, and look how good their defense got. So now you get Robert Quinn in there, who is a bona fide pass rusher, a guy multiple teams wanted, who knows the NFC East well because he played for the Cowboys and played pretty well for them over the years. To me, this is a Super Bowl winning move. This is the Jay Ajayi trade in 2017 all over again. This is how Rose would say, this is our guy when we are up 3 points, 4 points, 7 points in Super Bowl 57. Robert Quinn's going to be the guy that forced the fumble or sack Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson, whoever it is, on 3rd down. And this is going to be our Super Bowl winning move. That's how I felt when they traded for Robert Quinn. And here's the thing, Tone. I don't know if they're done.
That's the fascinating part about it. We don't know if they're done. The trade deadline is next week. But before we think about what the next move is, I kind of want to, I kind of want to milk this move for what it's worth, Jeff, if you don't mind. There's something I want to address about this move that people need to hear, people need to accept, people need to, just see the writing on the wall. I know the Philadelphia Eagles have accumulated 17 sacks on the season. I get that. I understand that's a pretty good number. I mean, it's not a top 3 number, but it's a top 10 number. But here's the thing. Of those 17 sacks, 9 of them came in 1 game against the Washington Commanders. The Eagles have played 6 games so far. So you guys do the math. 17 sacks total on the season. 9 came in 1 game. That leaves 8 sacks. You mean to tell me they only accumulated 8 sacks over a 5-game span with this pass rush? Unacceptable, Jeff. It just doesn't add up to me. So clearly Howie Roseman saw that the pass rush wasn't getting home enough. And trust me, if those guys like Hassan Reddick, Fletcher Cox, if they were getting home regularly, I don't think they make this move. I think they are comfortable with what they have if they were formidable enough. But clearly there was a weak point on the defensive line. Clearly They were getting close, but no cigar.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? So I think the Eagles, obviously, the Derek Barnett injury hurt them a lot more than people think. Like, Derek
Yeah.
Barnett's not Robert Quinn, but he's still got to get to the quarterback.
He's another piece, bottom line.
Exactly. And they missed that depth. They did. They had to move Milton Williams outside. Now you don't have to worry about that. Now you got Robert Quinn adding in with Hassan Reg, with Josh Sweat, with Brandon Graham. I'm so intrigued by how Howie Roseman is essentially going to use this, or John McGann's going to use this, I should say. I know what Howie Roseman's thinking. All right, John, go do your thing here. But this is an A-plus move for Howie Roseman. You don't give up much for Robert Quinn. And again, the Bears were paying $7 million of his salary. There's no guarantee money on the table after this year. I think the Eagles are going to have to make a decision between Robert Quinn and Brandon Graham after the year. I don't know which one they pick, but it does seem obvious. Like, I don't think you want to, unless Robert Quinn just goes crazy the last, what? How many games the Eagles got now? 11 games? I mean, really, you're getting Robert Quinn for 11 games. So, plus
you're
playoffs.
You're going to have a sample size. You're going to have a large sample size to see if he still has it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're going to have to make a decision here. And, I mean, if he is back to being the All-Pro, and again, I would have voted Robert Quinn All-Pro last year. That's how good he was. And I don't know, Tone. That's going to be a really tough decision. I just want to know if he plays Sunday.
Yeah, it's the Eagles are really good for allowing guys to have that time to figure things out. But at this point in the season, I really wouldn't be surprised if they decided to throw him out there for a couple plays and just say, "Look, just go get the quarterback. That's it," because that's what they brought him in to do. It can't be that much more complex. He's been in the league for 32 years. He's a veteran, so I'm sure he knows his way around the block, right? So, he's been on, I believe, 4 different teams in his career: Rams, Cowboys, Miami, Bears, and now the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's 5 teams. It's by no stretch of the imagination is it his production. He's 100 set. He's a 100 set guy in his career. Not many guys are able to do that. That's a different club. That's a Hall of Fame number. 100 sacks in a career. That's a Warren Sapp number. So
the last time the Eagles had a guy with 100 sacks on their team?
Trying to think.
It's a tougher answer. Let me just put it that way.
Is it a classic answer, like an OG,
he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh man, you got me, Jeff. You're the historian. See, who is it?
Remember Richard Devon? You might have been too young. Richard Devon was on the Eagles. They signed him I think after the first game of the season, and he was pretty much brought him to a Robert Quinn. Of course, Richard Devon was a lot older at the time. He was 37 when he was on the Eagles. And
you taking it back on me, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll just put it to you this way, Tone. I think Robert Quinn's going to have a much bigger impact on this team than Richard Dent did.
Definitely. So, let's move to the next phase of the conversation, right? We have about 5 or 6 minutes before our guest Mark Rosetta gets here. And, this move, is this the last? Is this the first of many? What do we expect from Howie at this point? I know the live chat is going crazy right now. A lot of the people are talking about running back. I've heard Kareem Hunt. I've seen trying to make a move for Alvin Kamara. I don't know, you guys, but this is a fast.
Alvin Kamara is not getting traded. Let's just put it that way.
No, I agree. One can dream, right, Jeff? But Kareem Hunt is good.
I think that's more of, I can get Alvin Kamara in fantasy football. Yeah, we can get him real football. Nah, that's not exactly how it works. That salary's a little too big. Kareem Hunt is
very plausible. Very plausible.
Like, I don't know how the Eagles are going to give him a 4th-round pick for it, because I think that's what Cleveland would take. But Kareem Hunt's definitely on the table. He's not coming back to the Cleveland Browns. He's not. And the Browns are 2-5. It doesn't look like their season's going to be what they thought. Maybe 5-6, 6-5 when Deshaun Watson comes back. Hunt's going to leave in free agency anyway. Kareem Hunt would be a really nice piece to this offense if they can find a way to pull it off. But here's the thing. The Buffalo Bills want him. Think about that for a second. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys get interested in him with the Ezekiel Elliott injury. I'm just speculating on that one, by the way. But I do know the Buffalo Bills are interested. I will say that.
You're absolutely right. The Buffalo Bills, they've struggled to run the ball consistently. If Josh Allen isn't toting the rock, they have a hard time really accumulating a formidable run game, and that's not sustainable, especially when you want your guy to be dropping back, dropping bombs for you to the wide receivers like Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. So the Buffalo Bills are definitely a destination for a running back. I know they were in on the Christian McCaffrey situation, but they obviously couldn't get it done. But I think this Eagles team is clearly making it known that they have one goal only in mind, and that's to win the Super Bowl. And adding to your pass rush instantly creates havoc for guys like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, because those are the guys that if the Eagles make it to the Super Bowl, it's either going to be one of those two guys, if we're being completely honest. If you ask me, I think it's going to be one of those two guys. We'll be shocked if neither of those teams make the Super Bowl. But stranger things have happened. This is that season where a team will catch guys slipping. The Bengals are starting to get things under control. So you have these top-tier quarterbacks in the NFL. You have to have a top-tier pass rush.
So I had to write the 7 teams. We call it the Super 7 at CBS. The 7 teams that have a legitimate shot going to the Super Bowl. And obviously Bills, Chiefs, and Eagles were the easiest 3. Easiest 3 I could put on there. And I put the Dallas Cowboys on there too. But after that, it's like you had to think. And I put the Bengals on there because they are starting to kind of find their stride a bit. I did not put the Rams on there. I did not put the Bucks on there. I did not put the Green Bay Packers on there because through 7 games, they haven't shown me anything. Nothing that screams, oh, this is a team that's going to beat the Eagles. This is a team that's going to beat the Cowboys. This isn't going to be a team that's going to beat the Giants right now. So I love what the Eagles did. I think it's a tremendous move by a tremendously talented general manager who knows the situation of his team and says, I got a quarterback on a rookie contract. I'm not paying him till after the season. By the way, they are going to pay Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is going to get paid. So
yeah, it's clear. It's clear at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is the I'm going for it move. This is the move that if there was any doubt the Eagles could win the NFC, or that's gone. I think the Eagles are the clear front runner in the NFC right now. I think they could beat the Kansas City Chiefs with this move. I think they could beat the Buffalo Bills with this move. And I'll be honest, I do not think they're done. If you would have asked me this yesterday, Tone, and we did, I don't think their defense would have had enough to stop Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Now I think they got a formidable pass rush where you can take advantage of the Chiefs' offensive line and the Bills' offensive line, which, by the way, they are very underrated units on that team. I think Robert Quinn was the move you needed to kind of contain those offenses.
Absolutely, and it allows them to bring pass rush guys in waves and waves. Like I said, you got the Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick combo, and then you can mix and match Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, or Brandon Graham, Hassan Reddick, or Hassan Reddick and Robert Quinn, Josh Sweat. You have waves and waves of guys, and I can't wait to hear the next wave of guys that we got coming up. Mark Farzetta, he's behind the scenes right now, waiting on us to bring him up. And man, I know Farzi's going to be over the moon about this move. I know he has so much to say. I love Farzi's energy. I love Farzi's passion. I love his analysis. Mark Farzetta also is the host of the JAKIB Sports pregame show. Does amazing work with those guys like Seth Joyner and Derek Gunn. And man, I'm really curious to hear and see his perspective. Jeff Kerr, any final thoughts before we hit this break?
All I know is today was a good day to get Mark Farzetta on the show. That's all I got to say.
Most definitely. Farzi is the guy, the man with the plan, the one and only. You guys are locked in on Good Morning NFC East. He's Jeff Kerr. I'm Tone. Just a second. Keep it locked. Mark Farzetta is up next, you guys.